You know, when you're trying to do something, you try not to get defeated, right? And I'm having a really hard time trying to follow through. Okay, that is my character flaw. It's hard for me to follow through. Right now, on my mission, I'm 0 2, but we're going to talk about it. So, I've been a reseller. I think I have like 28 followers. Hey, y'all. Thank you for subscribing. If you see this, keep on subscribing. I'm trying to take us on a journey. All right. But anyway, I'm a reseller. I've been reselling on Poshmark since the establishment of Poshmark. Maybe 4 to 5 years ago, I decided to like dive in more of the reselling. I'm still what I consider per diem. I might work 5 hours a week on reselling. 10 is pushing it. Like, I might thrift 2 days out the week, and throughout the week, I'm listing. I may give like 20 minutes a day for listing. I also wash a lot or treat a lot of the items that I find, and sometimes I repair. So, I want to pivot. I love the art of thrifting, I love reselling, but I'm just like, how can I transform this? How can I have this, you know, grow this into something big and beautiful? So, of course, just like anybody, I was like, oh, I can open up a thrift store, or maybe I could start getting more inventory and selling more. I did increase my profits a little bit, but I'm not consistent with listing because I take breaks. Like July, I took a break. Like I did thrift maybe 2 times in July, maybe three, but I take periodic breaks where like the whole month I'm not doing or I'm not going as hard as I did the prior months. But to make a long story short, I decided to start a nonprofit. And my nonprofit, the overall picture, it's in 3 parts. And it's surrounded by environmental sustainability, saving clothes from the landfill through one, a creative lens, and the other part of it was affordability because I'm in these internet streets and I'm listening to the people, and the people like the thrift stores aren't thrift storing anymore. So one, availability through a creative lens, and then also giving back to the community, whether it's patrons, people in need, and also letting people be able to express themselves artistically through clothing, and also a third space outlet along those lines. So I'm doing my Google schmoogles, I'm doing my research, and I'm on the Reddit pages, and everybody's saying the best way to get, start a nonprofit, the best way to navigate it, the best advice they can give people is to have a fiscal sponsor. Boom. So I was like, okay, now with the fiscal sponsor, you have your mission has to be in line with their mission. So the first fiscal sponsor I applied to, they denied me. I feel like basically what they said in a nutshell in my denial letter is that the how I wanted to go about it wasn't aligned with them. So I was like, ooh. I gathered my thoughts. I found another physical sponsor. I kind of retailored my proposal, and then they came back and said, we don't have time for that right now. That's not what they said. Basically, they said they don't have the capacity to take on my project. So now I'm on the third one. The third one, the way you go about it is different than the other two. The other two, they gave you like questions, you had to answer it. Basically, you had to put a whole proposal in a budget. Those were the first two. This third one, you submit a small questionnaire. They ask you like maybe like 3 questions, And then once they review the form, if they want to move forward, then it will be a phone call. Once you have the phone call, then you'll go into the proposal part of the application. And then if you're invited to that, then they'll review that and then they'll say yay or nay. So that's my third option. Depending on how this starts off going, I'm going to research another physical sponsorship. And the next two, I am going to do my proposal a little bit different. I think in the first two, I talked about more of the structure of the nonprofit than rather the mission of the nonprofit and the purpose of the nonprofit. So going into these next two, I'm going to focus more on that than actually what I want the nonprofit to be. In the meantime, I'm also considering just starting the process on my own, even though it's going to be a little bit difficult. You don't automatically get 501c3 status, but I have to keep all my options open. I am going to divide my nonprofit into three phases because it's a big project. It's not something so small. My first project is going to be a free service for people who are re-entering the workforce. That's phase number one, all in the frame of sustainability. And then the people who I want to work for me or like employees during this process have to be into fashion, styling, like just have a creative eye. And I'm looking for entry-level people, like the people who I want to work for my organization. Of course, I have to get people who are expertise in their personal field, depending on, what the position is. But I also want my nonprofit to be a place where people can come and gain the experience that they're lacking. They just have to have an interest in certain parts of my nonprofit that will best suit them in their future endeavors. So that's what I've been up to lately. If you run a nonprofit and you do take on sponsorships, leave me a comment. I'll leave my email address in the description box. Also, if you have any, tips, advice about getting into the nonprofit space, feel free to let me know. I'm open to any and all suggestions. Oh, another thing about my nonprofit is I feel like mentorship should be free. People shouldn't have to pay for mentorship. And that's another aspect that, not that I want to give my clientele, they will receive some part of mentorship as well, but I also want the people who volunteer for me or the people who are employees, I want them also to have access to mentorship because, I just feel as though everything does need a price tag on. But thank you for watching. Leave a comment. If you stayed to the end, give me a peace sign. Until next time. Bye.